going to get working on these upper and lower control arms in the front. And boy, it would have been a lot easier to do this when I was restoring the car with the frame off and all that shit, or the body off the frame. Because now I have to, obviously I got to move the steering arm out of the car again, put a dent in the header there because it's a little too tight, it's rubbing the paint right off. So yeah, I got to fix that, repaint that. Oh Christ, this side's a lot easier the way it looks. And I know on this side, I know on the driver's side, that the header's in the way of the bolts coming out of the control arm, so that ought to be a treat. So yeah, we'll get working on it, and it is what it is, I guess. Well, I'm not gonna lie, my oh, what the hell's the word I'm trying to say? My ambition level is not very high. So anyways, obviously I took the upper and lower control arms off. Well, I bought these new too. So I gotta take all that shit off and replace them with better ones that'll give the car better steering, better control, the whole 9 yards is supposed to be all around better. So I got these new, they're in the trunk right now. They're just a solid piece versus these, you know, flimsy ones more. I mean, they've been around for years and they work, but I just wanted a little better ones in there. So I'm gonna start picking at this, and next thing you know, I'll have it done, I hope. Stick around. Well, sway bar's out of the way. Anybody looking for a stock A-body sway bar? Brand new, never been down the road yet, but she's back out and gonna be for sale. So, want it? Come and buy it. Well, of course, my brand new power stream pump has got a leak. Let's see if I can show you that. Oh, where is it? That's gonna be harder than I thought. And let me get some light on it. Maybe you see it. Yeah, you can see right around. Let's see if I can help you here. Right there, see that fluid there on the threads? I'll put an arrow on there. So yeah, I gotta pop the brass piece off and see why it's leaking. I got all the cotter pins out, got all the bolts cracked loose. It's loose. Bottom one is loose. Tie rod up one is loose. So now I just have to get my jack from the back because it's a quick jack versus my heavy duty one over there, which takes forever to pump up. And go get my impact gun, or not my impact gun, my air hammer, and I will hopefully crack these all loose. Everything came loose really easy because everything's new, so that wasn't so bad. But as you can see, let me changing all this shit was painted, and I don't know why that looks like shit right there. So I'm gonna have to repaint all that after I get it all apart, repaint it, clean it up, and then put it back together so it looks nice. And of course, the air hammer did not work like usual, which I kind of figured it wouldn't, but I had to try it. So I'll go get a BFH and that'll work. Fail. Well, getting some shit off here. Got all that off. Of course, now the lower control arm is hitting the header and won't allow it to fall out. So spring has a little tension on it. Not good. Oh boy, I hate fucking springs. Good way to take a hand and finger off. Alright, I got the brake assembly all done. Spindle, all that shit, backing plate. Let me flip it around here. Get everything repainted, everything cleaned up. Looks good. Gotta wait for it to, I just touched up the back of the bolts and shit, so they're not sticking out like a sore thumb. Alright, now I gotta take the header off, or get it loose. Just the back three left. The front one is loose hanging onto it. And I got them, obviously the back three to do, and I'll leave the back farthest one on just as loose as I can keep it. And hopefully they'll give enough room for that header to rock out of the way, and I can get that bolt out. And I can drop that lower control arm out, so I can get that spring to fall out. Fun, fun. All right. Got the lower one off. What a fucking bitch that was. Oh, sorry, beep. Anyways, I gotta take the bolts out of the rag joint now, and I gotta move the steering wheel up and out of the way, and then I can get the upper one off. I got the bolts all out already, but I can't get it out. God, I can't even talk. I can't even get it out until I get the steering out of the way. So that ought to be fun, because that header is making this all a bitch. The other side's going to be a breeze compared to this side. That's why I did the hard side first. So, yeah, I got to take the steering wheel out now, so I'm going to call her quits, because I got to take a shower before I go inside the car, because my interior is white, and it's pretty much done inside, so I don't want it to get all greasy and dirty for me. So, all right. Get back to you as soon as I get some more done here.
The next day.
Alright, we're back out in the garage. Get on this thing. Let's flip this thing around. I'm getting dizzy. Anyways, so I gotta go in here and get this wheel down and get that out of the way. Oh, what the heck we got down there? Oh boy. I got something leaking. You probably can't see it in the camera. Oh, now you can. Obviously, it's got to be brake fluid. And ain't that something how you find this shit working on this? And mind you, this is all brand new stuff. Well, let's see where it's dripping. Yeah, I can't see it, and I bet you can't either. Well, it looks like it's wet right. Yeah, it looks like it's wet there. Not really. Here's a little dampness. Oop, right there. Oop, got it zoomed in. Sorry. Right there, that plug is a little loose. Oh, better rock that back and forth and get a better seal on that. Yeah, at least I found it now, not after I go down the road and lose brakes. So I'll consider that a good one. All right, let me get that tightened up so I don't forget about it. And I'll get that steering wheel out. Get the rag joint. So people know the rag joint is right there. Right there. So I gotta take that off. 2 9/16 bolts. And I continue this side and start putting it back together. And then when I do the other side, I'll just do a video how I get the springs out without compression tools. It's not too bad. If you got the car high enough, you can slowly bring down the jack, and the spring will fall out without come flying out and take your head off. And all right, let's get at her. I guess this will be my tech tip. What is today, Wednesday? I don't even know. Yeah, Wednesday. So anyways, if you take this, crack it loose, and keep working it. There we go. Hopefully that'll do her. That's it. Try it off with some brake clean, and hopefully that does it. Well, working on a steering column here, trying to get this out of the way. Let me flip this around. I was looking at this, and I don't think I'm going to get, even if I take the steering column off, it almost looks as if I would have to take the header off to get this to be able to come up and through anyway, because it's not going to come up because the header's in the way. Oops, sorry. And so I'm thinking, since I got this oil leak on this main line here, which I took off, so let's jump stories here. Let me see if I can get the better lighting on it. I looked at it here, and inside the fitting, you can't see shit. God, it's hard to do this shit on camera. But if you look at this, get back here. Anyways, it doesn't look too bad, but it did have a metal shaving in. So I took that metal shaving out. And other than that, it doesn't look bad in there. And then I got the other piece out of the pump. Oops, sorry. Get that back there. Oops, god damn it. Anyways, I got this out, and that looks all fine. However, this side, I don't know if that's a, oops, sorry. It's hard to do all this shit and show you what's going on, but I mean, if that's a rubber O-ring, that does not look like it's going to seal much. So I think that might be my issue there. That O-ring is definitely doesn't look big enough. And then this washer goes on here. This ought to be interesting. Watch this. See how I do this. So that's supposed to be on there like that. And that's where I had the fluid was, right next to that washer and the part. So I'll try to figure out what's going on here and I will update you. Alright, back to showing you what I found on this fitting. So it was an O-ring. There was an O-ring on the back side of this. But however, that O-ring went around here and it's tiny. And if you look, it's actually so thin that is thinner than the washer. So you can slam this together as tight as you want with that washer in there, and that washer is not going to do shit. Absolutely nothing. So I'm going to see if I can get a fatter washer that will squeeze in there and seal that off. And that's what I got. And hopefully that'll fix my oil leak. And now I'm going to take the gearbox off and hopefully I can slide that steering shaft out the bottom and take off my control arm, put the new one on, ding the header, and paint that bar. That's where I'm at right now. I'm going to run to Tim's Auto and see if I can get a different rubber washer for that. Jake actually jumped in the truck to go along, which usually he doesn't. You ready? Alright. Hopefully I can get a decent O-ring to put in there. Alright, I got this taken care of, hopefully. I ended up going to Napa. My parts place didn't have one the exact size. Napa did. It's just a little bit oversized. As you can see, well, maybe you can't see because it won't focus. There you can. That it's protruding over the top of the washer, which tells me it should tighten. So I'll get that put in and hopefully that takes care of my problem. Alright, I got it all put in there, all tightened up. I put a little grease around it for the O-ring so it smashes in there decent. Got it good and tight. And I want to set my wife's Christmas party. I'm not a big adjustable person because normally they slip. I tell you what, this thing works really good. I mean, really good. I tighten it up against the nut, or I should say that, that part, and it stays, it doesn't get loose. So that's good, just FYI on that. So now I'll get the gearbox out and see if I can get that steering rod out. Well, I got this fitting all cleaned up. Let's flip this around here. And what it was is that metal shaving I said is in there. That was plating. The plating is coming off. Why is that fucking stop? I don't know what the fuck is going on. So anyways, I was working on this fitting because remember I said I seen a metal shaving on it? Well, what it was is the plating coming off. So I took a Dremel wire brush, brass wire brush, and I polished all the crap out of it. Let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I don't know what's going on here. So yeah, as you can see, if you look at the outer edge on top, the edge of it, you can see that the plating's all coming off. Well, the plating was coming off on the inside too, so I took a wire pick and I picked it all off of there. And then I took a little wire wheel Dremel, put on my drill, and polished it off of there. Now it looks a lot better, but I'm still afraid it won't seal. So hopefully it does. If not, I have to pick up a new one of these pieces. Well, I got steering shaft off, and let me tell you, it was work. Let me flip this around. So I had to take the brackets off for the bumper so I can get the top bolt of the gearbox. I don't know if you can see that in there, but I had to take the bracket off so I can get the top bolt out. Gearbox is out. Steering shaft is out. So now I gotta get a mirror and make sure that my wire looms are not touching that steering column, because it sure the hell looks like it was. I cleared it well, it was a long time ago. I cleared it, so now I just got to double check it since it's out of the way. And then ding my header and decide if I'm going to rewrap the header right there. You can see it's all screwed up right there. So just got to decide if I'm going to redo it. Oops. So anyways, I got the bearing piece all cleaned up, ready to re-grease and put back in. Shaft is all cleaned up and repainted. So that looks good again. As long as that bearing right there fits back on, we'll be good to go. So, alright. Inside the car, obviously you had to take I thought it was a two-piece where the shaft would slide out, but it's been a long time since I had it apart, so I forgot. So I ended up taking the steering wheel off and all that crap, which is fine because I had to realign the gearbox and recenter the wheel anyway, so that's not the worst there. So now I'll let that shaft piece dry really good. I'm going to have to let that really dry good. And that's hard for me to do because I hate letting paint dry. It takes too damn long. But I still got to work on, so I'll do that next. And ding that header. Actually, I got to mount that header back up first before I go slamming on it. And I got a new gasket. Luckily, I had a spare. And we'll get this going and keep it going. And then the hard side will be done. Woohoo! Fun. Oh my God, I forgot to say, I was cleaning up that shaft laying across the tool bench here as I was sanding it and clean. I wire brush all the paint off, then I sanded it off so it's nice and clean. And it fell off, and I had a can of paint down there, and I hit it, and it poked a hole in oh God, it had to be a 3/4 can of paint. It was a big one like that one right there where it says free. There's a big can of paint like that, and thank God it put the hole on top of the can. I did not pan, just left it alone because only air was coming out. I only had a little bit of spit of paint came out at first, and then it stopped, then it just blew off air, or the pressurized part. So thank God that didn't aerosol all over my goddamn garage and all over the car. That'd have been just great. All right, that's it for right now. I'm gonna keep going here.
The next day.
All right, back out in the garage again. And I am working on, I gotta get these, this out of the way because it's hitting right there on the thing. I thought I ground it down, I cleared it, but I'm gonna clear it out some more. That way I ain't gotta worry about any vibrations on the steering wheel if the motor touches it. And I made this Allen wrench. I'm just waiting for the epoxy to dry inside of it, and that way it's constantly for this, because that one bolt back there is a biatch. We'll leave it at that. So, yep. So I got waiting for the epoxy to dry, and I already got one tie rod already painted. Look at it, it's haunted. I think it'll sit there and move on its own. That crazy? All right, I got it off. Let me flip this around. There you go. I see I got a scratch in it right there. I'll have to polish that out. But here's what I cut out before. And you can see if I can get it to zoom in. I can't get it to zoom in. But you can see it was rubbing. Oh, come on, you PS. Is it POS? There, right there. It's rubbing right there. So I got to clean that out. So I'll take a little more off and try it again. All right, I got a good chunk notched out. Looks like hell right now. Now I'll grind it, make it take shape. And now I gotta do some sanding. I like a lot of sanding. I'll show you when I get the next step here. I'll get the grinding and I'll show you what I got next. Slopped up now with all the goddamn shavings. But anyways, let me flip it around. Got the shape I wanted now. I went way beyond. Should definitely give me enough clearance. That was with an aggressive disc grinder. So now I'm going to go to a little bitty handheld DA, like 2-inch pads, which would be all of them. And I'll get this sanded down. I'll have to go from probably 240 all the way down to 2,000, 3,000. And I'll show you what it looks like when I get done. Or to the next step, I should say. Alright, compressor's running, so you probably can't hear me, but this is after 3,000. That's what it looks like. That's all sanded. This is how many pads I went through. That's a little DA I used. And now to the buffer. I'll show you what it's like. Excuse me, I'll show you what it's like when I'm done. It's all polished up. I had to take it apart so I can break the edges. See if we can... So I polish the edges to break the edges so they're not sharp. I'll put it back together and show you what it looks like. Alright, here it is. But it is not done yet. Okay, this is the back side. But if you look real careful, you can see that discoloration looks like it's just like a fade. What that is I just didn't DA it enough down to blend it in. And then on the top side, if you see in the light how shiny it is by the Chevy emblem, and right there you can see I didn't buff it down enough. So I just got to buff the top down a little bit. But I took it apart. Sides are all deburred, polished. So I'll tighten up the screws and I'll take her back and touch up that one spot right there where the reflection is. And that'll be it. Alright, here's the finished product. Just a little more buffing. You can see that it's gone. It's amazing what you see in the camera. Them little haze marks are from the rag wiping it off, believe it or not. But yeah, it scratches so easy now, it's pathetic. I hit that back a little bit more. It didn't come out, but that's right, just the bottom anyway. But yeah, put her back on now, and I'll order mess with that shit and get it the way it needs to be, and back on the car it goes. Well, I'd start putting shit back together, but piece of gasket on the last hole back there I cannot get off. I'll put an arrow on it right there. Oop, I'm moving. Right there, and I can't get that shit off. And I have to. So luckily the head all came clean from the gasket, but and the rest I could scrape off. That one spot is being a biatch. Finally got it. Yeah, now she's all cleaned off. Oop, wrong way. Well, if you really want to see it, I guess I can show you. Well, yeah. Actually, it works out pretty good. I can make sure I do have it. Alright. Got a little left right there or not? I'll hit that little corner there, and that'll be it. Cool beans. I had to clean up the header bolts, even though they're brand new, they're starting to rust. Well, I don't want that shit on there, so I painted them some high temp paint. Let's get them thrown on there. God, all the goddamn header bolts are started. Mark that down, because that went pretty damn good. Something's gonna bite me in the ass. I can tell it's coming. All right, spend some time here. Holy shnikes. Let's show what I got going on here. Left off last time the header was on. I got that on. I got the wrap cut away from where the steering rod was hitting. Right there. I dinged in a couple times. Nothing serious. And for the control arms, you can see where I had to notch that out. Actually, I gotta notch it out some more, I guess. Yeah, good thing I did this. Alright, let's fix that some more. Well, let me tell you. Remember I said about that header, something's gonna bite me in the ass? Well, it did. I can't put the header on yet. I gotta put the lower control arm bolt in first. So, yeah, I gotta take that all back off and then put it on. So I went to the hardware store, picked up this, picked up that hardware there. $25.64. Jesus crumba. So I'm gonna loosen this header back up. I got this I got the radius all out of the way there. Right there. I'll put an arrow right there, clear that all out. So that's good. Sucks that it went on so nice and easy. Now I gotta pull the shit all back off. Unreal. Ooh-wee, what a mess. We got a good mess going. If I go any faster, you're gonna get dizzy. But anyways, yeah, I got a hell of a mess going. Alright, let's do a follow-up here where I'm at. I got the... Oop, my battery's dead. So anyways, I got the steering shaft back in. All painted up, looking pretty. Bearings all grease set in. Lock retainer's just loose. So I got to get in the... can't even talk. I get the gearbox put back in. Header went on easy again, thank God. Let's see here. Down here, I just flashed a light on it, but she is dead. So yeah, I got the upper on, I got the lower on. Bolts are just started. So tomorrow I will get the shock put in, coilover in, and get the gearbox in. And here's the coilovers. So I'll get that all in tomorrow. Here's my crabby wife.
Ask me why I'm crabby.
She's crabby because I called her a name when she put the shaft in it. She put the shaft in the hole and she pulled it out. Or she pushed it out of the hole. I don't know why she pushed it out of the hole. Why are you pushing the shaft out of the hole?
I told you to put it on, and that's how I got it on.
Put it in, baby.
What the hell is this roll in front of here for?
All right. Well, I'm going to finish this video up and it'll have to be a continue because I'm sure it's got to be plenty long by now. All right. To be continued.
What?